Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Double Feature Podcast. I'm Charlie.
I'm Elliott. I'm really bad at this, so I'm just going to go through what the podcast is going to be about. We're going to be talking about movies a lot, probably going to be talking a load of rubbish as well. We figured we really like movies, we talk about it for hours on end, so why not film it, put it out there. I'm just going to quickly go through what we've got planned for today. Because this is our first one, we're going to go back. We've got a lot of catching up to do. So we're going to talk about 2024, obviously, our biggest letdowns, our biggest surprises. We're going to go through our top 10 of the year. We're also going to do our most anticipated movies of the coming year. After that, I think we're going on to the drafts, our top 5 actors in general. And then I think after that is the top 10 movies of all time.
For each of us.
For each of us, yeah. All of these we're doing separate ones. After that we've got a hot take each. I think you might have a couple.
Yeah.
And then we've got some trivia for each other. So
should be good.
Yeah. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, so do you want to start with your 2024 biggest?
Well, I think we had our January watches that we were going to go through as well. So I don't know do you want to start with that or do you want me to start?
I can do. I'll just pick the 3 biggest highlights. After Sun, the other day. Horrific horror film. Wrecked me. It completely destroyed me.
There's going to be a lot of awkward and laughing in this where neither of us are very good at this.
No. I didn't write my films down, so if you want to go, I'll do.
So, I've watched a couple of movies. I had a lot of catching up to do on movies in general. It's only sort of been a recent phase of mine. I've loved movies all my life, but watching them properly, I've missed out on a good couple. So in January I've watched Her quite recently. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Joaquin Phoenix did a great job on that. Very profound. We're going to have our letterboxd usernames somewhere on the video, whether it's in the description or on the video itself. So go and have a look at our reviews and our takes on a lot of different movies. I watched Dead Poets Society the other day. I think Robin Williams is just amazing in anything he does.
Brilliant.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I've heard "Oh Captain, My Captain" said a million times. I did not know it was from that movie somehow. Me and my friend went to see Nosferatu and Wolfman in the same day at the cinemas. They were both a lot better than I expected. I knew Nosferatu was going to be epic, but it was just amazing. You don't like horror movies,
no.
So in terms of horror, I'm probably going to carry the scene on that one.
Yeah. In terms of fun, I've got that part.
Yeah, absolutely. Oppenheimer, you showed me recently because I was lacking in the Christopher Nolan department. So Oppenheimer was, it just is what it is. It was as good as everyone says it is. Memento was another one of Christopher Nolan's I watched this month. I'm lower on it than Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie loves the movie. I think it's brilliant. The fact that it was hard to follow was a bigger issue for me than it was for a lot of people, I believe. And then another one which doesn't really fit with the rest of the movies that I watched this month is Hot Tub Time Machine. It was so much better than I ever thought it was going to be. It is so funny.
Is it?
The second one is a massive pile of dog shit, but the first one's brilliant.
I haven't seen it either.
No, well, get on it. Anyway,
Okay.
have you written anything down?
I have now.
Okay, go on.
I watched The Sixth Sense. Great film. Bruce Willis. It was Bruce Willis.
Yeah, somehow you avoided the twist.
Yeah, I didn't know
18
anything
years.
about that film.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved every moment of it. I just loved the script.
Yeah.
The writing of it, the fact that there's he can see dead people.
So I've also never seen it, so I should probably watch it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like the twist is a big part of it. It's like watching Shutter Island and knowing the twist.
I mean, I don't think it was as good as a twist as Shutter Island.
Yeah.
At the end, it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. It wasn't like changed. Everything else is great about the film.
Okay.
Rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
with Andrew Garfield. I didn't like it that much compared to the last time I watched it. I don't know.
Hurts so much.
It
hurts.
He's a great Spider-Man. I just hate his Peter Parker.
I don't hate his Peter Parker, but I understand the take. It's not Peter Parker. He's too cool to be Peter Parker, but I was 10 when I watched that movie, and he was so cool.
Yeah, the nostalgia just doesn't hit for me. I don't know why.
No, I get that.
On the better side, I watched Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man film.
See, now we're reversed.
I don't get how, 2002, it was one of the first, major superhero movies.
I agree that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is objectively a better movie than The Amazing Spider-Man. I just love The Amazing Spider-Man. And it's one of those things where it's just not going to change.
No.
I can admit that one is better than the other, but I don't think... It's like I think I've said it before, it's like comparing Interstellar to the Wild Robot. Well, not the Wild Robot. It's like comparing Interstellar to Lion King. Interstellar, a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
The Lion King, I just love it.
Yeah, of course. And I watched Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I think I'm the lowest on out of all the Nolan films.
Yeah.
I think I was going into it thinking it was going to be like a proper war film, but it was more like there was no antagonists.
Yeah,
it was more just focusing on individual lives. I still gave it 3.5. Or a 3.
I think Nolan just doesn't miss in that aspect. He could literally film a fly eating some shit.
Yeah.
And
he'd make cinematography.
He'd make an amazing movie out of it.
Yeah. I've watched more. Can't remember more.
Yeah. So. Fair enough.
But
do you want to move on to the biggest letdown?
Biggest letdown. Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first if you want.
Joker 2.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
Joker 2.
I was extremely low on this film. You were lower on it than
me. It is the only movie that I've ever had. I've gone to the cinema and taken a break in the middle to go on my phone. Not in the cinema. I left the cinema.
Yeah.
I'm not rude like that.
Yeah.
But I left the cinema and needed a detox from that movie because it was just...
I think if we weren't there, you would have just gone home.
Yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the worst movie ever made.
No.
I do believe that it shouldn't have been made, and I think it made the first one worse. It ruined the first one for me.
Yeah.
And I loved the first
one. I thought the first one was fantastic.
Yeah.
As much as like Taxi Driver as it is, like borderline, same dialogue, everything. It didn't feel like the same film.
Yeah.
The real joke of the movie was the script.
Yeah.
Like, it was terrible.
Exactly. I wasn't expecting it to be as much of a courthouse drama as it was.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be scenes in the court because of the trailer, but I thought it was going to focus on Joker and Harley in Arkham a lot more than it did. But yeah, it was just a massive disappointment.
Yeah, I think the best part of that film for me was Lady Gaga's performance.
Yeah.
I think she did well for the character she was given.
Yeah.
They should have made it more obvious it was a Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know if she was called Harley Quinn.
Well, I think I saw some people on social media saying they didn't even want to call her Harley Quinn.
No.
They just called her Harley. They were scared to call her Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It wasn't really. It was Joker's counterpart, but it wasn't Harley Quinn in the same way we've seen her before.
I'm also very low on musical films.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of the time doesn't bring a lot.
Yeah, I think that's where one of the big things we differ on is I love a good musical. You know, Amelia Perez. Oh, absolute heat, that one.
Yeah.
But no, I love a musical film when it's done right. When it's done wrong, I'm completely on your side. That it makes the movie 10 times worse. I think if we move on to my biggest letdown, I don't know if it's a hot take anymore or not. I know a lot of people are lower on this movie now than they were when it came out. My second viewing of Deadpool and Wolverine was probably the biggest drop in rating that I've ever had of a movie on rewatch.
Yeah.
It was completely carried by cameos. I could not give you an accurate synopsis of what happened in that movie, and I've watched it twice.
Yeah, it was just a crowd pleaser, wasn't it? It was a fan service.
Yeah, well, I went the second time because one of my other friends who is massively into Marvel, I wanted to see his reaction to all the cameos and all of that, and it just like didn't hit anywhere near the same because I knew what was coming, I knew the cameos, and so they weren't as exciting as they were the first time. And since then, the friend I went with has also rewatched the movie, and he is on the same page as me.
Yeah.
It just isn't the same. One thing I will say is that I think Sandra Nova was very interesting as a villain.
Yeah.
I don't think she was as difficult to beat as she should have been.
Yeah,
I mean, there's the scene where she rips off the Human Torch's flesh, and then Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting her, and all she does to Wolverine is put him underground, and then he comes back later and stabs her in the back. And it's like, she's Charles Xavier's brother. She's smarter than that. She should have.
Yeah.
But I digress. I didn't like that movie. I think it was a massive letdown, as I say.
I wasn't very high on it.
No.
I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
And seeing all like the CGI clips of the sword going through his arm, and the whole of the Wolverine being CGI in the last like third of the film.
Yeah,
Like
I think the scene towards the end when they're back in New York and Cassandra Nova puts her hand in Paradox's face, and that is some like top tier CGI. And that's, I think, why it's so disappointing that the rest of the movie is as janky as it is. Do you want to go on to your biggest surprise? Because I don't actually know this one.
Right, I've got two down.
Okay.
I'll go with the more obvious one. I've got Furiosa. I think I loved Mad Max. Gave it like a 3.5.
Yeah.
And I went into Furiosa not thinking it was going to be much better, better at all. But I think it was a lot better than Mad Max. Anya Taylor-Joy, perfect in it. Chris Hemsworth, amazing in it. How he hasn't been nominated for Best Supporting Actor is beyond me.
Furiosa hasn't been nominated for anything.
No,
which is just
completely ignored.
I mean, we'll get into it later, but I can't really speak on Furiosa. But from what I've heard of literally everyone, it is crazy that nothing in that movie has been nominated for an Oscar, especially when certain other movies have. But we'll talk about the Oscars later on and how. Anyway,
My second one is The Wild Robot.
Okay.
I think it's the same for you.
Yeah.
We went a few weeks after it came out.
Yeah.
Just looking around, looking at it, I was like, this is just another kids movie. Don't need to see it.
Which, if you judged it by the trailers beforehand, you would believe it was just going to be kids movie, load of rubbish.
Yeah. And then we just decided that we want to go to the cinema one weekend. It was the only thing on that we wanted to see and haven't seen. So we went to watch that, and it hit more for you. But it was amazing. It was one of the most beautiful films, animation-wise, that I've seen.
I think. Well, I won't go any further just yet because it was also my biggest surprise. Again, for the same reasons as Charlie, I did not expect this movie to be one as beautiful. I hadn't seen a single trailer for this movie before we went to see it. I'd heard the Escape Pod podcast talking about it, and I'd seen some bits on social media of people saying it was one of the best of the year, and I didn't believe any of it, but I thought I'll take a chance. So we went to see it, and it was just as Charlie said, hit a bit more for me. I had tears streaming down my face for a lot of the movie. It was just absolutely beautiful. It was, I think, if I had one gripe with that movie, which it isn't really, because I can go either way on this, I don't think it needed an antagonist at the end. I think if nature was the antagonist of that movie, as it was for the first two acts, I think that would have been like just as good. I don't again. I think it can go either way.
I think the way to look at it is, it was intended for the child audience as well,
exactly.
And they tend to get stimulated by a villain.
It was an adaptation of a book, and so they had to stay true. They couldn't take an antagonist out of a book. Like it's not really an adaptation at that point.
Oh no. Did you want to move on to your 10 through 6 of the top 10?
Yeah.
Of last year?
So 10 through 6, I've got Venom 3 at 10. I didn't think this movie was great. One thing I will preface before saying this, kind of touched on it last. The 2 biggest movies of this year, being Dune 2 and Furiosa, I've not seen either of them. I had only seen Dune Part 1.
Last week?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
No.
And then Mad Max Fury Road I haven't seen at all, so I probably need to watch that.
Yeah.
It's a prequel, so it's like either way. But yeah, so neither of those are in my top 10. If they were, my 9 and 10 would not be in this list. But yeah, Venom 3 is at my 10. It just wasn't. It didn't hit for me. I thought the ending was great. I thought it was quite funny having the ode, like their story, the flashbacks and all of that.
The gambling.
I have it at a 2-star. I think it was a bit of a mess. At my 9, I've got Smile 2. I didn't strongly dislike this movie. A lot of people said it was better than the first one, and I just don't agree. I think the first one was very simple, and I really liked how sort of unnerving it was, and then the second one just seemed too big. Like the fact that, should I go into spoilers? It's been out for
I would say if it's out for longer than 3 months,
yeah. So the second one, you've got Sky Riley, who's a big celebrity, sort of like a Taylor Swift character in this universe, and she gets the smile virus or whatever it is, and then by the end of the movie she gives it to a crowd of like 30,000 people. I think that is far too big for the second movie of a franchise for it to pass on that. So far we've seen it passed on to 1, 2, 3, 5 people, I think, and for it to then turn into almost 100,000. I don't know how big the arena was. But yeah, I just thought it progressed way too quickly for it to be a second movie. At my 8, as big of a letdown as it was, I have Deadpool 3. I can't take my first viewing out of like my opinion on that. Deadpool 3, the first time I saw it, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. I thought it was very exciting. I did think that the story was hard to follow throughout the first one, but seeing all the cameos, I love Gambit. Seeing Gambit, like Channing Tatum as Gambit, I loved it. I've got it at 3-star. If I watch it again, it's probably going to go down, but I'm probably not going to watch it again. At my 7, I've got Gladiator 2. I think for a lot of people that might be low on the list.
I think it's fine.
I just think that it was they recycled so much from the first movie, and I'd only watched the first movie a couple of weeks prior.
Yeah.
And they just recycled so much, and because it was so fresh in my head, I could see it all. And it wasn't like an afterthought. I was thinking about it during the movie, so my experience with it wasn't as good. I thought it was epic, and everything from here onwards is a 4. Like, I have Gladiator at a 4-star. Everything in it was epic. I thought Denzel was great. I thought Paul Mescal was great. What's his Joseph Quinn and the other twin. I thought they were brilliant in this movie. Sorry about that. We are going to try and keep most of this podcast as uncut as possible. We're currently recording on a phone, and we weren't aware of how much storage we had, so we've just had to go and clear out a load of stuff. Anyway, so as I was saying, I don't know quite where I got on Gladiator. I thought all the performances in this movie were great. I didn't have a problem with any of the actors. I just thought, not even the script, just the story was a bit too close. I mean, you've got someone going from a slave to being a gladiator, and then literally the same woman, I can't remember her name now, Lucius's mother, goes to the council to get him to go to an army to the south of the wall or whatever, to come back. That fails, and it just seemed recycled to me. My 6, which is where I'll be stopping for now, is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Right.
I don't think you've watched this movie.
We watched it together.
Oh, we watched it together. He has seen this movie. I love a true story, especially when it's done right. And I thought it was really exciting. I'm about to say I love this guy. I can't remember his name. He's Reacher, and he's in this movie. And I just think he's brilliant. Off screen and on screen, I've watched a lot of interviews. I think he's great. Henry Cavill, I think is brilliant. I don't have a problem with any of the performances in this movie either. Just going back, Gladiator I had at 4-star. Ministry I also have at a 4-star. I just thought it was very fun and exciting. I thought all of the different aspects going to, I can't even remember, going to this place and speaking German and all of this, and it was just very fun. And then you find out at the end that it was, I'm sure they took creative liberties, but it was pretty much a true story. It was just, I think it was great. But anyway, that's my 10 to 6.
Right.
Do you want to go on to yours?
Yeah. And my number 10 might be a surprise. I've got Roadhouse.
Okay. I don't know why that wasn't on mine. I've watched it.
I just love Jake.
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal and a steroid-induced Conor McGregor fighting is.
You've got to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have problems with the movie,
it's
but
just fun.
I feel like they've got problems with the movie that the movie wasn't trying to tackle. It was just very fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I just enjoyed it. I watched the first one.
Yeah.
About a month before I
Okay.
watched
I
the remake.
I've seen that.
And I think I preferred the remake.
Yeah.
I think that's just a generational thing.
Yeah.
But in my number 9, I have Piece by Piece, the Lego Pharrell Williams documentary.
I haven't watched that.
I very much like music, and the way that they interpreted how beats are by putting different coloured bricks together it's very good, and once again, true story.
Yeah, just interesting
in the
to
form
watch.
of Lego.
Yeah.
I love all the Lego films.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with any of the Lego movies.
No.
The Batman's probably my favourite.
Yeah.
I love the Ninjago movie, but that's probably just because I love Ninjago.
Yeah. The Lego Batman movie was a great time.
Yeah. Number 1 Batman movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Number 8, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
Going back to what you were saying. I think the cameos were good.
Yeah.
The peak of it being Chris Evans being Johnny Storm.
Yeah, that was
instead of Steve Rogers. I thought that was brilliant and probably the biggest surprise. Yeah. Especially when Deadpool tried to say, he's going to say Avengers Assemble, and he said Flame On.
Like, they misled you. The rest of them, they came in as who they were. This was a bit more of a jaw-dropping scene when they did that.
The other cameo I really liked was Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Yeah.
I love Blade. The first one. It's just he's a great character, and it's good to see that they've brought him back, because no one thought he was going to come back, because it's been quite a while.
I haven't watched the original. I know it's meant to be amazing, and I also do know that it's the only reason we have the MCU as it is today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard the story about that, but basically Marvel sold all the rights to a load of their characters, which is why Fox and Sony had different parts of it, and all they were left with was like Blade, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, who weren't really that massive in the comics. Like, they were, but they weren't who you'd think at the time they'd go with. But then Blade effectively made Marvel a load of money, and meant that they could make the first Iron Man or the first Hulk. I don't quite know where it is, but basically Blade saved the MCU.
Yeah.
And
well, it started it.
Yeah.
It was before the Iron Man film.
I've always found it interesting that the only reason the Avengers are as big as they are today is because of those movies.
Yeah.
They weren't. It was Fantastic Four, X-Men, like I mean, Fantastic Four is the first family in Marvel. I just find it really interesting. I do love Marvel, which you'll probably find out as the episodes go on.
Yeah. At my number 7, I have Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Once again, just a good time.
Yeah.
I think I preferred it to the first one.
Okay.
Maybe a hot take. I think with Beetlejuice being in it more.
Yeah. He's more of a side character in the first one, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in it for like maybe 3 minutes in the first one. Probably a bit more.
Yeah,
maybe like 13.
Yeah.
But it's his film.
Yeah.
And I liked how they explored it, and the CGI was better, as you would expect.
Yeah.
I know that shouldn't make a film, but especially the
It
sock puppet.
just makes it a bit easier to watch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When it doesn't take you out as much.
Yeah, and it's got General takeover.
Oh yeah, of course.
My number 6 is Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
I
haven't watched that. I did not know you'd watched that.
I have watched that.
We'll be talking about that later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought it was good. After just coming out of being almost out of being a teenager now, with puberty and everything, I think the introduction of anxiety was really good, and I can see why a lot of people liked it and it made as much money as it did.
Yeah.
One, because the first one was such a big success.
Well, the first one was massive. I agree that the first one is one of the better Disney movies. I do think it's brilliant, but
and just introducing new emotions as you do when you get older. I think that was very cool. Do you want to do your 5? Then I do.
Was that your 6 then?
That was my 6. Yeah.
So my 5 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
I love Planet of the Apes. All of them, the originals. I do prefer the newer ones. I am one of those people that it takes me out when a movie's a bit older and a bit harder to watch.
Yeah.
But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I think it was a fine movie. I've also got it a 4-star. I don't think it holds a candle to any of like Dawn, Rise or War.
No.
But I think it was great. I think it was, for 170 million, it was a beautiful movie. And I mean, there's the one scene where Rocker, the orangutan, is being swept away by the river. Sorry about spoilers. And the water in that scene and how it interacts with him, the CGI is just amazing, especially in that scene.
Yeah, I think the CGI in all of the new ape films are great.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad it's being put up for best CGI, whatever the category is at the Oscars.
I think if it hadn't, that'd be really disappointing, because they made a whole world effectively.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it was practical, whether a lot of the sets were or not. I'm sure they were, because I don't think it was completely CGI, but the CGI that was in it, I can't fault it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got that one at a 4. That's my last 4 of the list.
Right.
So.
I'm going to preface, I don't have a 5-star from last year.
Oh, okay. That's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At my 5, I've got Transformers 1.
Yep.
I think that was really fun animation.
Yeah.
Once again, with the trailers and everything, no one expected much.
It was marketed so horrifically.
It was terrible. The first trailer made it look like it was going to be one of the biggest flops of the year. And it's probably competing up there with Transformers 1 or maybe Dark of the Moon.
And again,
for the best Transformers
we
film.
We weren't going to go and see it until we heard that it was apparently amazing.
Yeah. But I think it was brilliant. All the voice acting, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans.
I hear a lot of people saying that it takes them out of the movie. After the first 10-15 minutes or so, I didn't have a problem with Chris Hemsworth's voice acting.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I can't, the name of Optimus Prime's voice actor in the original escapes me now, but I don't think it holds a candle to that voice. But it's not meant to be
a younger Optimus Prime.
It's not meant to be the Optimus Prime we know anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with Chris Hemsworth's voice acting or Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the Bumblebee actor, but I find him hilarious.
Yeah.
I think he was Bumblebee might have been my highlight of the movie.
Okay.
For that. But anyway, this is your list, so I'll let you carry on.
I would say my favourite part of Transformers 1 was the origin of Megatron.
Yeah.
I think that was brilliant, how it showed you that he was trying to do the right thing, but doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
With the fact that he wanted to free all the Autobots.
Yeah.
Well, not at the time, but the whole planet by trying to kill the leader, Sentinel Prime. But that's the wrong way of going about it, and Optimus wanted to do it the right way. And that's where the conflict happened, and then it was the origin of the transforming for them all. I thought that was really good.
The fact that are you done with your part? Okay, so I have it at my 4, so we can carry on this discussion. I don't know if you remember your rate. I've got this at a 4.5.
I think I've got it at a 4.
Yeah, again, not to rehash everything Charlie just said, I loved this movie as well. Wasn't expecting it to be as good. It was between The Wild Robot and Transformers 1 for my biggest surprise of the year. But yeah, I just think the storyline of how Sentinel Prime got rid of all the other primes and took everyone's cog away, I think that was a really interesting thing to have, because I didn't know that they were all born with a cog. I didn't know the lore or the backstory.
And then the cog was taken from them.
So I didn't. When we found out that they earned their cogs or something, that I just assumed that was correct. I didn't have anything else to go off. We've talked about Transformers 1 enough, so do you want to go?
Can I just add on?
Yeah.
The Transformers 1, I liked the part how it showed how all the primes were destroyed. Because they were all found in that underground cave, which is where
with
Optimus and everyone.
I think was
Megatronus. Was it? No, it was
one of them.
One of them. And he gave them all the cogs back. And then at the end, when he turns into Optimus Prime, and gets that title, I think that was really cool, especially when he's just been betrayed by Megatron. Being thrown into that bit. Right. Are we on 4?
So this is top.
I've still got my 4.
Yeah.
Maybe low. I've got Dune 2.
Okay.
I don't think it was as good as the first one.
Okay.
I really like the first one.
See, I love the first one as well. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. Technically it is kind of a 5-hour long film. Because it is meant to be kind of watch back to back. And the fact that I didn't watch the first one again before, it was a few years since I watched it. I just found the action sequences were cool. The thing that I loved about the first one was the cinematography. And it is the same cinematography in the second one. So it wasn't really I wasn't blown away from it.
Nothing exciting and new or anything.
I also didn't see it in the cinema, so I probably didn't get that IMAX experience or anything. Which you probably need for a film like that.
Well, I'm planning on watching Dune 2 again. I think I've watched Dune 1 recently enough that part shouldn't affect me. I did love Dune Part 1. I thought the acting, again, the cinematography, I don't have a problem with it. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. But yeah, I've heard that Dune Part 2 makes the first one better.
Yes, it does.
Okay, 100%. So I'm looking forward to that, and then I'll probably watch Dune Part 1 again. But yeah, so that was your 4.
That was my 4, so you're on to your 3.
That's a lot lower than I thought it was. I can't think of what your 3 are going to be now. Okay. So this is our top 3 now. All of my top 3 are 5 stars. My number 3 is Wicked.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to like this movie. I went in because I'd heard it was great and it was getting spoiled all over the internet, and I thought, if there's a chance I'm going to love this movie, I'd rather go and watch it before it's spoiled. So I went with my mum, and she's been to see Wicked the stage show. I'm going in March because of this. I thought it was just amazing. A lot of people say it's not as colourful as it could have been. I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was real. It didn't feel like a cartoon. But yeah, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were so much better than I thought they were going to be. And just the story of her going to meet the wizard and finding out the wizard is just a bullshitter. And I mean, the scene where she gives the monkeys their wings, turn her flying monkeys, is just it's horrific. It's some of the most heartbreaking like scenes. But yeah, I just again didn't have a problem with this movie. It's a perfect 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
I thought all the music was great. They didn't. I'm sure there was editing in it, but I know it was Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's like true voice.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that they're up for lead actress and supporting actress. I think that's fully deserved. I'm very much looking forward to part 2 coming out next year.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
November, yeah.
I think they're going with like calling it Wicked for Good or something.
Like that, yeah.
I think they should just change it to Wicked Part 2.
Yeah. I think just part 2 is being overused.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
And it's the same argument I'll make for the Batman.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that like at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't think they should call it part 2.
No, I think they need to keep carry on being creative. I know that they're going for this more sort of black and white-esque like view of it, but it was fun. Like finding out the title, like the Planet of the Apes movies. It was like they all sort of go with each other, and it was quite fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my number 3, which I was quite happy with.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Gladiator 2.
Okay.
I really like this film.
I forgot that you hadn't said it already.
Yeah. I hadn't watched the first one in a while, so it didn't feel recycled.
Yeah.
Paul Mescal's performance was amazing in it.
Yeah.
Same with Denzel Washington. I feel like it was great. There was parts that were the same, but I feel like that's what makes Gladiator. Like having the loss and then the redemption and then wanting vengeance, but then kind of leading towards more the good part, which I thought was good because he didn't end up killing the twins, I believe.
No,
Denzel Washington.
He didn't
spoilers.
He didn't kill Paul.
No.
Pedro Pascal either, did he?
No, he didn't. He got shot by the archers, didn't he? And I thought that was a good glimpse into it. I also like how it followed on. So he got Maximus's armour and his weapons. I thought that was really good. How they managed to include the first one, because I was worried they was going to put Russell Crowe in it again. Because I think that would have just kind of ruined the ending of it.
I know what you mean.
I liked, unlike you, I liked the mother part of it. Because at first she didn't know that they were obviously mother and son. And then when they're in the jail and it's all explained and someone tells, I think Lucius knows.
Lucius.
But the mother doesn't.
And
then it's the conflict in the jail that they have, which I think is just brilliant acting from both of them.
I think my 2 main problems with this movie, excluding the fact that it felt recycled for me. One, at the start, Lucius's wife, I feel like we don't spend enough time with her
I get that.
to feel the loss that he does. And the second one, we found out that Lucius, again, spoilers, we found out that Lucius is Maximus's son. That kind of, the timeline means that Maximus, I feel like, had an affair.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, don't get me wrong, the Romans, they were a prolific bunch. It didn't feel like Russell Crowe's character to me.
No.
Which I get, again, that's a me problem. But that was one of the other things that just sort of dampened it for me. It didn't feel like the right thing.
I think that was a better outcome of him being Maximus's son than it being Joaquin Phoenix's son. Because that is just quite incestuous.
It's really messed up.
Which I get, like, historically it's probably accurate. They were both royals, they wanted like a pure blood.
But it wasn't the most historically accurate movie, so...
No, but besides that, it was good. We can't turn around and say, like, a film like Seven and say, like, oh, this isn't realistic for this time.
Exactly. And I'm like, again, I can't say I didn't like the movie. I gave it a 4-star. I thought it was epic.
I think I gave it a 4 as well.
It was Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott,
I think, like...
He's great.
I think it was brilliant. I just had a couple of problems that dropped the score for me.
Right. Do you want to say your 2?
Yeah, so my 2, I'm going off of how letterboxd like separates this movie.
Right.
Technically, because we're in the UK, this is a 2025 movie for us. Nosferatu on letterboxd came up under 2024 movies, and Nosferatu for me, I love the story behind the original. The fact that it was sort of an illegal remake of Bram Stoker's original novel. And I love the fact that Robert Eggers, it's his love child. It's he loves this story, so you could feel it. The cinematography in this movie, I think it's been nominated.
Yeah, yes, it has.
It was beautiful.
It's been nominated for 4 awards.
Yeah, it was beautiful in some places where it needed to be. It was really ominous and threatening in other places. Yeah, very. I thought I'd misheard you then. I think, wow, what's his name? Skarsgård. Is it Bill?
Yeah.
Is it Bill Skarsgård or Alexander Skarsgård? One of the Skarsgård brothers who plays Count Olaf's from Another Thing. Anyway, Count Orlok in this movie, his representation I think is amazing. The voice is brilliant. I know it sounds stupid, the hands are so freaky, and just the way he moves through the shadows. I think the fact that if you look a bit deeper into this movie, Count Orlok is meant to be the dark sides of Ellen, who is Lily Rose Depp's character. He's meant to be the dark sides of her that she hasn't accepted yet, and once she accepts them, which is the climax of the movie, it sort of fixes, and I think that can be related to life. With if you stop pushing your problems under the carpet and deal with them, it tends to go away a lot quicker than they would anyway. But that was a bit too deep for me. It was a brilliant movie. It scared the shit out of me, and I thought all the acting was great. But that's my 2.
Fantastic. I've been Wild Robot.
Okay.
That's my number 2.
Yeah.
Talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Beautiful film. I believe it's your number 1,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it hasn't been in my top 10 yet, so
No.
it has to be.
Yeah. Sorry for ruining that surprise.
Spoilers, man.
But it was just a great film.
Yeah.
Good story. I like how the robot was programmed to look after the egg, and it stuck with that until it flew away, and then the robot struggled with letting go, which I think brings in a more human emotion.
That was one of when he goes on his migration and she's running after him. That was one of the parts that first sort of got me.
Yeah.
I think, again, like we said earlier, it's just beautiful. It's so well animated.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal as the fox.
Great. Hilarious.
He might be one of my favourite characters in this movie. I think Roz and Brightbeak are brilliant, but the fox, just the comedic timing, and there's a part at the end, and I thought I was done crying. I'll tell you what, actually, I'll save this for mine, because mine...
Go ahead.
So my number 1 is The Wild Robot. As I was saying, there's part at the end where Roz, spoilers, Roz leaves to go back to where she was made, because her job is done there. And the person that you weren't expecting it to affect as much was the fox.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. But Pedro Pascal's voice acting in this scene, when I think the line is, "What if I need to tell you something?" That
and
broke
you're not
me.
there.
Yeah, and you're not there. That broke me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting him to be as upset about it as it was. And just the voice acting and the timing in that scene is brilliant.
Yeah.
And just the fact that it brings this forest all together when there's the blizzard hits.
Yeah.
And they kind of stand there and they go, "Look, we're not going to survive this. You can go back to it once we're out of this, but we need to survive this winter together," sort of thing. And I just think it was an awesome movie. It was epic. It was beautiful. I thought the story was great, and all the voice acting was great. Going
back to the fox.
Yeah.
I think it's great how at the start he was like this cocky, arrogant, has to be, everyone's in the center of attention, and then it turns out that he just wants the attention because he's lonely. That hit me. I feel like, and then developing how he becomes like a family within like all of nature. I'm pretty sure he's the one that brings them together.
Roz goes and finds him.
Yeah.
Because I think Brightbull's gone on his migration, the blizzard hits, and they kind of, because they're both acting like they don't need each other at this point.
Yeah.
And so they go their separate ways. And I think Roz then finds him under the snow. They go back, get warm.
Yeah.
He wants to stay there, and Roz kind of says, we need to go and help everyone else. And he begrudgingly goes, and it's just this whole sequence of him saving all the animals. And I just think, again, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was one of the greatest animation movies I've ever seen, personally. If you want to do your one, I'm gonna. I have no idea what this is.
It's Furiosa. It's brilliant. On rewatch, probably going to give it a 5-star. Chris Hemsworth's amazing in it. I think it's by far his best performance. I liked the fact, I'm going to try not to spoil as much, because obviously you want to watch it, but how it explains like her kind of tribe and her family is really good, and then the seeking of vengeance towards the end, and how the women are treated in the Mad Max society, because you didn't see much of that in the first Mad Max Fury Road. It showed more of that, because obviously the lead
so it's just a bit of a deeper...
it's deeper, it's great. It explains a lot of why she acts how she does in Mad Max in the origin, and I love an origin story. I just thought it was a beautiful film.
I didn't even know that Anya Taylor-Joy was in the first Mad Max until this movie came out.
She isn't.
Oh, is it?
She plays a younger version.
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Because it goes, the first one it starts when she's like a child, like at the age of 3, and then she grows up to like in her 20s, which is then Anya Taylor-Joy, and then in Mad Max, it's in her 30s, maybe mid-30s, and it's played by someone else.
Who's playing the character in that?
I'm not sure of her name. It's been a few years since I watched Fury Road, but I would probably, on reflection, it probably made Fury Road better with Furiosa, and I thought it was great.
Okay. That's both of our top 10s of last year. I think...
Want to talk more about this year?
This year, so we've got our 2025 anticipated. We're only going to do a top 5. Because I don't think we could have come up with a top 10 personally.
No.
2026 and onwards, we probably could have.
We could probably start that now. Not that I think we should, but we could make a top 5 now.
Honestly,
first of all, do you think last year was a good year for film?
I think it was a year for good film.
Right.
In terms of, there was a lot of movies that came out last year that I think would have been ranked highly regardless of the year they came out.
Yes.
I don't think there was enough of them.
No. Fair enough.
Like I think The Wild Robot, regardless of what year it came out, it would have been towards the top of the list. Of my list. Same with, I'll go back because I can't remember a single thing I've just said. Same with Gladiator 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, Nosferatu. I think they would have been ranked highly regardless of the year they came out in. I just think the quantity wasn't there. We hardly went to the cinema. We were going every weekend for a couple of months.
When The Wild Robot stuff was released, Transformers 1.
We were mainly at home watching older movies.
We were rewatching a lot as well.
So I think last year, I think it was a year for good film. I don't think it was a good year for film.
No.
If you know, like, why.
I think compared to 23, with Guardians 3, Oppenheimer, Across the Spider-Verse, I believe that was 23, maybe 22, I'm not sure. But I think they had a lot of highs. Last year had its highs, but it had its lows. And the lows were low.
Do you want to know what came out last year that I didn't realise?
What?
Hit Pig.
Damn.
Now, Hit Pig should have been on my 2024 list, really.
What, of top 10?
Yeah, absolutely. It might be out the wild robot. I don't know if any of the 6 people watching this have watched Hit Pig. If you haven't,
watch it.
Go and watch it.
Peak cinema.
I mean, we can get the synopsis up in a bit because
it's a great synopsis.
The synopsis is amazing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a bit if we want to chat, but yeah, I think we should go straight on to our 2025 anticipated movies.
Do you want to do 5 then? I'll do my 5.
Yeah, we'll do.
Have you got any honourable mentions?
Honourable mentions for this year, no.
Okay. I have 2.
Okay.
Films that I'm excited to see. I don't think there will be massive blockbusters.
Yeah. Do you want to try and guess what we're going to rate these as we're going along? Like,
okay.
What do you think they're going to be? Okay. We'll try that.
My honourable mention is Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay.
I think Happy Gilmore 1 was a classic.
It's going to be a 1.5 star.
I think it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing it anyway. And have you seen Nobody?
Yes. With Saul.
Saul Goodman in it. Releasing a second one this year.
Okay.
I really liked Nobody.
Yeah.
My highs are they're making another one. My lows on it is it didn't need a second one.
No. Yeah. I think we need to stop this trend of making sequels to things that didn't need it.
Yeah. My mixed opinion on it.
Yeah.
I think making a second one is better than what they were trying to do originally. They wanted Nobody to join the John Wick universe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that would have been just like too insanely
it's not. It's
badass
not the same,
people.
is it?
Like, just I don't think it would work.
No, it didn't need to.
No.
But I do agree. I think a sequel's better than that.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to say your 5?
Did you have any more honourable mentions?
No, those were the only
just
2
the
that I
one.
had.
Okay. My number 5. I love this franchise with a passion.
Mm.
They have disappointed me more than any other franchise on this planet.
What franchise is it?
Jurassic World Rebirth. I think I'm looking. It's going to be R-rated, I believe. I think they could do a lot with an R-rated Jurassic Park.
I think
they haven't been, because the issue we've got with the Jurassic World Park franchise is it's the same thing every movie.
Yeah.
The first 3 were kind of different, but it was still
the same concept. And then
I get that there isn't much more you can do.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more, a little bit more.
And then I think with the Jurassic World, they were a bit too different. The same but different. Yeah. Like when the whole island sets on fire.
Yeah.
I think that was stupid.
However, the shot we get of the Brachiosaurus or the Patasaurus, I don't know which one it is, on its hind legs after the boat leaves, genuinely, like, saddest moment in Jurassic Park in general. And I get they're not sad movies, but that was a horrible shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Rebirth, my highs of this are going to be they can do a lot more in this movie than they've been able to do.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
My lows are track record of these movies being disappointing.
Yes.
Jurassic World, after the however long it had been since the Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World was amazing. I thought Jurassic World.
I love Jurassic World.
Jurassic World was everything it needed to be. And then Dominion and the other one, don't even know.
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom, was that the second one?
Fallen Kingdom was
Fallen
the second
Kingdom
one.
And then Dominion were just nothing. Like, I'm never going to rewatch it. I don't care enough about it. The only thing I will say is I like how many new dinosaurs are in Dominion.
Yeah.
I think having a Therizinosaurus and a Giganotosaurus, I think they were brilliant. That's about it. Saying that the dinosaurs were good in a Jurassic Park movie, like, that can't be a reason why it's good.
No.
But so that's my 5.
And Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna give it maybe a 3.
Okay.
If it's more than that, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Okay. My number 5 is the F1 movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Formula 1.
That wouldn't even be in my top 15.
No, it wouldn't. I just think it'll be interesting. Same person who made Top Gun Maverick, so you know you're going to get good shots. Throughout all of last season in Formula 1 and the season before, they actually had Brad Pitt in an actual F1 car, and I think the shots are going to be cool. And
after Top Gun Maverick, giving him a load of money, you're going to get something good out of it. So, and it's a load of money.
It's the most expensive film ever made. I think it's something like over 350 million. Which it's crazy.
I don't even get out of bed for that, but like, they can do what they want.
I think it's going to be a 3.5.
Okay.
I think it's
that's low.
I think it's going to be a visually pleasing film.
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll just be as good as watching an F1 season. I think the highs will be high, there will be lows. Actually, let me put it up to a 4. 4 if Lewis Hamilton's in it.
4 if Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, standing by that.
Okay, fair enough.
He's a producer of that film.
So you're saying if Lewis Hamilton's in this movie, you're giving it a 4?
If he's in the movie, whatever I give it's going up by half a star, if not a star.
Okay,
so
that's your 5.
That's my 5.
My 4 is Captain America: Brave New World.
Right.
I'm just hopeful. I need them to. I don't think it's going to be great. I'm probably going to give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
I'm not as high. I'm probably the lowest on Captain America out of all of the sort of original 3.
Right. Okay.
Captain America's probably my least favourite.
Right.
Like movies wise, anyway. I don't know.
Winter Soldier. Civil War.
I'm a lot lower on those 2 movies than a lot of people.
Wow.
One thing I will say, Thor has 4 movies, 2 of them are dog shit. So hopefully Captain America can do something with this. As a kid, Red Hulk was my favourite thing ever. I thought he was the coolest thing in comics. So I just want them to just don't do badly, is what I'm saying. I'm not expecting a 5-star movie.
No,
just don't ruin it. Yeah.
Just don't do Craven.
Yeah, basically.
Madame Web.
But I think it's probably going to end up being a 2.5. I'm hoping for more.
Yes. I think out of the 3 films they've said are releasing this year, I think I'm going to be the lowest on that.
I agree with that.
Mainly because Thunderbolt. I'm watching it for Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best Marvel characters, best written Marvel characters.
I don't, but I understand.
I think I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah.
But I'll get on to my 4.
Yeah.
I Ballerina.
Okay.
From the John Wick franchise. Anna de Armas.
My 3.
Is it?
What? No, I was just going to move on because that's pretty much a good enough reason.
Yeah, just move on. That's fine. We'll leave it as that.
No, I think Ballerina, if they do it right and have everything they need from a John Wick movie to this movie, I think could be really interesting. Seeing, I don't know if this is going to sound sexist, seeing a woman do what John Wick does is going to be very interesting. And very attractive.
And I don't know if you've seen it, James Bond, No Time to Die.
I haven't, no.
You haven't?
No.
She was in it.
Okay.
Only for a short amount of time. As one of the agents, as one of the double O's. And she was phenomenal in what she was in. She's just a great actor.
Yeah, I've seen Skyfall.
Right, okay. Anyway, what's your next one?
My 3 is Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Okay.
I think I'm glad they're doing Galactus right. In terms of he's a big alien dude.
Yes.
I don't know anything about Galactus in this movie, like the story or his character or anything, but I'm just glad he's not a massive cloud like the original Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Because that was a travesty.
Yeah.
I think all of the actors that are playing the main 4 are brilliant actors. I don't expect a bad performance out of any of them. Whether they would have been my go-to picks,
probably not.
Vanessa Kirby is probably the only person that would have been there. But again, you're not going to get a bad performance out of Pedro Pascal. Joseph Quinn, brilliant actor, and the guy who's playing the thing was in The Bear, and he's brilliant in that.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting good things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping for good things. I wouldn't say I'm expecting good things. But
I'm looking forward to the retro.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very. It's like the Jetsons. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah. I've got to give Ballerina a score.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be a 4.
Okay.
I think it'll be very.
Have you
good.
rated any of the John Wicks or 4?
I think I gave the first one a 4.5.
Okay.
And the fourth one a 4.
Yeah.
Because I love the first one.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. What would you give Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four, I think it's going to be better than Captain America.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to be my love for Fantastic Four carrying that score, I don't know. But I think it could be a 3 or a 3.5.
Okay. That's decent for Marvel.
Yeah, like especially
Nowadays.
recently. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping for that anyway. What's your 3?
My 3. I don't think you have remembered this film.
Okay.
It's How to Train Your Dragon.
I have not remembered that. How have I forgotten that?
I am very much looking forward to that film. Especially because I'm the highest on the first How to Train Your Dragon. I need to rewatch the other 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I was that high on them. But
is the second one where Stoic and his wife meet again, or is that the third one?
I'm not sure, mate.
Because whichever one that is, I want to see that. And like that scene is fucking.
I think it's the second one.
It's heat.
Yeah. No, third one. Because it's in the cave, isn't it? With
Yeah.
The third one.
But yeah, I think that in live action. If they are doing a 1, 2, 3 like scene by scene remake, we won't see that for a while. But anyway, carry on. I don't even have it on my list. I can't.
Yeah, I think the CGI on Toothless looks great.
Yeah.
I think managing to do that relationship between Toothless and Hiccup in a real life film will be very nice to see. It might hit more because it's real life. It might not. There's a few casting choices that I would be like,
They can't. I think it's in the first one. The scene where the training scene.
Yes.
They can't mess that up.
No.
That's the scene.
It's the title.
Yeah.
It's him training a dragon.
Yeah, like, I think it's the like the training sequence where he falls and Toothless catches him and they're flying through the. They can't mess that up.
Yeah.
It's the it's the titular scene. It's like they need to smash out of the park basically.
I hope that they keep very much. I don't say this about a lot of remake films, but they keep it very much scene by scene the same. Because I think is it the first.
So it happened again. We ran out of storage. So I have bought more storage. We've swapped cameras, so if the camera angle's changed slightly,
we apologise.
We're gonna rehash
what we were
talking about because we didn't notice we weren't very far.
No.
So your 3 was
my number 3 most anticipated. I think you forgot this one. How to Train Your Dragon.
What? No way.
It's not like we have scripted this.
We're also losing light a little bit, so we're going to try and speed it up a little bit. I think we're at an hour now, so. But yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this.
So am I.
I thought the first How to Train Your Dragon was great. I need to rewatch 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It's in the first film. I think it'll be interesting seeing the Toothless Hiccup connection.
Yeah, like we were saying, I think it should be a scene-by-scene remake. I think because of how perfect the first How to Train Your Dragon was, spill a little bit, mate.
Maybe.
Because the first How to Train Your Dragon was so good, I don't think they should try and change too much. I get that some parts aren't going to work in live action that they might have to change. But yeah, I think it could either be one of the best movies of the year or one of the worst, depending on how well they do it. I think, like we were saying, I think it's the training sequence where Hiccup jumps off Toothless, they're falling, the song picks up and they fly through the rocks. They need to perfect it, they need to do it really well. Because it's the titular scene, it's so good. Everyone loves it. They need to really do it well. I think we should just move on to the next one.
Right. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Mickey 17.
What?
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Okay.
Which is, like we were talking about before, it's your one.
It's my one.
So we'll just talk about Mickey 17
okay.
and then the
other
next one. Mickey 17, it looks like such an interesting concept.
Yeah, it doesn't look like too complex of an idea either.
No. And like we were saying, we're just hoping that Bong Joon-ho's, I think I've pronounced his name right.
You've probably butchered it.
Yeah, probably. I just hope that his directing or writing, whether he's doing both or not, translates over to English as well as it could do. I assume that because of Robert Pattinson's recent, like, sort of, he's had Tenet, he's had The Lighthouse, Batman. I assume he wouldn't take a movie without being confident in the fact that it's going to be like heat. But no, like we were saying yesterday, it's going to be a comedy.
Yeah,
like
I'm looking forward to it being like a comedy action.
Yeah.
I think we don't get a lot of great comedy films nowadays. So I think it'll be very interesting. Robert Pattinson is a great actor.
Yeah.
I feel like who else is in it? His love interest in it is a good actor. I
have
no idea her name. But yeah, the fact that in the new trailer where it says, should have read the T's and C's, kind of shows that it's going to be like it's not what he signed up for. And I like how in the trailer it shows that the idea of him going out to space, exploring it, when he dies he gets cloned. I don't think he'll remember dying.
I'm not sure.
He will just restart from like a certain point, and then two of the clones meet.
Yes,
and
I forgot about
think that will be interesting. It also shows a fight sequence between the two clones, which I think, if written and choreographed correctly, 2 Robert Pattinsons fighting is obviously better than 1. I just think
we did almost have that in Tenet.
We did,
but instead it was the other way around, wasn't it? But no, I think Mickey 17. I'm hoping for like a 4. Did you say How to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragon, I think will be a 4.
Yeah.
If they do it correctly. 4.
Yeah. But Mickey 17, I think I'm hoping, looking for a 4.
Alright.
I think out of that.
I'm going to throw something out there.
Okay.
I think I have so much hope in this film. I'm saying it now. I'm going to have it a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
I think it's going to be up there.
Some big words, that is. So
Robert Pattinson hasn't failed to disappoint me in a film that I've watched.
Should we watch Twilight Moon Part 1?
Let's not watch any of them.
But no, I think it could be very good. Your 2 is my
2
1.
is your 1, which is Superman.
Yeah, the James Gunn, the new movie.
Yeah, James Gunn has all of my faith.
Yeah, the trailer looks so Superman.
Yeah, there's so much hope in it, which I think DC does very well. With Batman, especially the end of the Batman, with him being a symbol of hope. Superman has always been known as like the kind of person to like, even if the smallest things, like to saving a cat from a tall tree.
Which we see.
Which is it? I think it's in that film.
Was it in the trailer or was it a set, like a leaked set?
I think it was in the trailer, and then flying down with a cow, something like that. The shot where he saves the young girl from all of like the pipes and everything, that in slow motion looks
that looks
insane.
Really good. I'm looking forward to seeing whether Lois Lane and Clark are together at the start, or whether they meet in this movie, because we've seen them meeting a lot, and I kind of want to just get into their relationship a bit. It's a bit like the Uncle Ben thing. I get that it's kind of needed. Yeah. Is it overdone by now?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Uncle Ben is overdone. We were talking about it with the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, he is a staple of Spider-Man, especially in Origin Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I think with Lois and Clark, I think we just need to get into it now.
Yeah.
And maybe find like we see when she finds out that he's Superman.
I think
that could be interesting, but
that'd be good.
I don't think we need to see them meeting again.
No.
I think that could be an interesting dynamic though,
Yes.
coming in with an already established relationship.
Keeping on the James Gunn topic, obviously he's in charge of the DCU now, or the DCEU. I don't want him to do what a lot of people are saying he's going to do. They haven't casted another Batman yet, and he's going for a fantastical Batman.
Yeah.
Just don't bring Robert Pattinson into it. Leave that separate.
Yeah, they need
he does such a good
to
job in the
apart.
realism.
Yeah.
I think they need to bring like a bigger Batman, like a stronger Batman. I think
don't have a
like
single,
Ben Affleck.
I don't have a single issue with there being two Batmans at the same time.
No, I don't either. I think that's fine.
Yeah. So I think if they can just do, because I think there's so many villains that I think will be perfect in Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like Riddler was great.
Yes.
I think Joker could be amazing.
Brilliant. Court of Owls.
Yeah. Clayface.
Hush.
Keep it with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like we can see
Mr.
both
Freeze,
them. Yeah.
stuff like that.
But
yeah, I think they can. I trust James Gunn enough to make Fantastical great.
yeah.
We saw how well he did with the Guardians films.
Yeah. I haven't seen Suicide Squad. I need to.
It's very good. I think I got it at like a 4 or something.
Yeah.
It's much better than the previous one.
Yeah. It's not difficult though.
No. The funny thing is, I really enjoyed the first Suicide Squad on first watch.
I thought it was. I don't think it was a terrible movie by any stretch of the imagination, but what I mean is I don't think it was hard to beat.
Yeah.
Especially with a director like James Gunn. He's just. I mean, Scooby-Doo 2 Spooky Island, he directed that, and I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Interstellar, and then right behind it, you've got Scooby-Doo 2 Spooky Island, so it's... But no, I think those are quite easily my top 5 anticipated. I'm so annoyed I missed out on How to Train Your Dragon. We are going to do our first draft now, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So how it's going to work is whoever goes first
will get the first pick.
Gets the first pick, obviously. Whoever goes second can pick 2 then.
And then it goes back to 1, 1, 1, 1.
So, do you want to do rock, paper, scissors for first?
Yeah, we can rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
So, you can go first.
I'm going to go first.
Damn
I wonder who we're going to pick, because I know we have the same one.
Yeah, I didn't want to have this conversation with you the other day.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I recommended an actor draft, I knew you were going to put him at 1.
So we've got Leonardo DiCaprio. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio at 1.
Yeah,
100%. I'm going to keep track of who I've got.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to keep track of yours.
I'll just put like an arrow.
Yeah. So I've got Leo.
He's just got a great catalogue.
Yeah.
He's probably the best of our generation.
Yeah.
And before.
I can't say confidently that he won't be beat.
I think he can be beat.
Yeah, I think he can be beat. But right now, working and his catalogue, I just don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone comes close.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I get 2 picks.
Yeah.
My first one, I'm going to go Christian Bale.
Okay, that was going to be my second pick.
Once again, brilliant actor.
Yeah.
He was a great Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight trilogy. Maybe not so good of a Batman. Up to discussion.
Yeah.
American Psycho.
Yeah.
Great in that. Even in the dog shit films he's been in. Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard great things about them.
I don't know. The rating seems quite high. I think I've got it on my watch list. He's like extremely anorexic in that film.
Yeah.
And then his next film was as Batman.
Yeah.
So he had to gain all that weight back.
Yeah. Which I don't think there's another actor more dedicated to the craft, or maybe not more dedicated. I don't think there's an actor on his level that is as dedicated to the craft as he is.
Yeah. Physical appearance wise, he's willing to change anything.
Yeah. I only found out recently that he's British.
Yeah.
Which is just another win for us guys.
Yeah. So that's one of mine.
Who's your second pick?
Yeah, why not? Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay. He wasn't on my list.
That's crazy.
He should have been. I do agree that he should have been.
He's just great in Prisoners, great in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Like one of his earliest films.
Yeah.
Love that film. Maybe mention later. Yeah, I just think he's great in anything he's in.
Yeah.
Like Roadhouse, without him, probably would have been a terrible movie.
I do agree that he's a great actor. I think second pick is
well, he would have been my third.
Yeah, that's true. My second pick is going to be Cillian Murphy.
Okay.
I'm quite confident in that. I think Oppenheimer, brilliant. Like not only a brilliant movie, I think he was brilliant in it.
Yeah.
He is Tommy Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
Scarecrow, he was amazing as Scarecrow. Yeah. I watched 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
I thought it was mid.
Yep.
He was very good in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was mid.
Yes.
He was the only good performance in that movie.
I forgot to write him down.
That is unfortunate for you.
I have 7 more actors I've put above him for some reason.
Wild.
Anyway, who should I go with? Why not? Michael Caine.
Okay.
I think
you got the Alfred Batman combo, right?
Yeah, which was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
I think anything he's been in his older age.
I don't think anyone's low on him. I do think you're a lot higher on him than a lot of people I know.
I think he's great at just his Alfred in The Dark Knight Rises when he thinks that Bruce Wayne is dead, and he's crying at the gravestone with his dad and his mom next to him, saying that he failed his dad.
Yeah,
like, it's a tearjerker.
He is brilliant.
He's in 7 Christopher Nolan movies. I think he played a great role in Interstellar.
Yeah.
As the professor.
Yeah.
I think
that dickhead.
Yeah, he plays the same kind of character and everything, and it's the consistency that's there, and people hire him for who he plays and what he's done, which I think is brilliant. So that's my third pick.
Fair enough. My third pick, this isn't who I'm picking. For some reason, he's brilliant. I had Keanu Reeves next. I'm not going to pick Keanu Reeves. Right. I think he's amazing. He should have been a lot lower on this list.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for Denzel Washington.
Okay.
As my third pick.
Right.
I'll be honest, the main thing I like him in is Gladiator 2, but I really liked him in Gladiator 2, and I also know he has a great catalogue.
Yes.
So, yeah, my third pick, Denzel Washington. I don't have too much to say. I just think he's good.
My fourth pick, I am going to go with Brad Pitt.
Okay. We've got wildly different lists, I think.
Yeah, and I think after we watch 7
in
the next few days,
I
think he's going to go up for
he's probably, because at the moment I've got World War Z, Deadpool 2,
Fight Club.
Oh, I do have Fight Club. Okay, fair enough.
That's the other big one.
Deadpool 2 as the Invisible Man. He's
maybe the best cameo ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I just think he's brilliant. He's had a lot of misses. I'm looking forward to see what he does with F1. It's just I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he is good. I respect that pick. I'm gonna take your Michael Caine and raise Anthony Hopkins.
Right.
I think one of my favourite performances as an actor ever, as small as it was, is as Hannibal Lecter. I think he embodied that character so perfectly. He was so good as Odin, I didn't even know it was him for like 6 years. But yeah, I think Anthony Hopkins, again, he's one of the greats. Again, don't have much more to say about it, but I think he's amazing.
Okay. See, I'm going to say these two,
Mm.
and I'm going to pick from one of them. So that's
Okay.
usually how drafts work. I've got Robert De Niro
I had it.
and Heath Ledger,
Oh, okay.
and I think I'm going to go with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I think there is no one ever that has done a character like he did Joker.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't know if you've seen pictures of his notebook that they found in his hotel room after the incident.
Yeah.
That, like, he had pages of, like, hyenas and how they laughed to get the Joker laugh down. He became Joker
again, he
in real
embodied
life.
that character like no one has before or since.
He fully deserved that Oscar, and just wish he was there to get it. It's such a tragedy.
It's so heartbreaking.
On the other side, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
Fantastic in that.
I think I've got A Knight's Tale on my watch list because he's meant to be very good in that. 10 Things I Hate About You, I do also want to watch.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is that his name?
Yeah.
In that kind of order, kind of. I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's very
he was
good.
in that.
He's coming back soon. His son is directing his first movie.
Oh, wow.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's coming back to act as the main character in it.
Right.
People have mixed thoughts on.
Also, he's in Inception, which
is
phenomenally good in.
Amazing.
But yeah, I think that secures my top 5. So
my fifth pick, I'm quite happy with my first 4.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is purely because I was saying before, if I go through some of my favourite franchises, there is one man that keeps popping up, and so I can't leave this draft without putting him in there. I've gone for Chris Pratt.
Right.
Which he's a bit of an outlier in this.
In the top 10 greatest actors. I don't think.
He's my favourite actor.
I don't know.
So I've got to put him in my number 5. He's Passengers. I love Passengers so much. Jurassic World. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the movies are great. He's not bad in them.
No.
And then Guardians. Star-Lord isn't my favourite part of them, but again, I think he's great in those roles.
Yeah.
And so I do agree, he might not be the greatest actor, but I just couldn't not mention him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, it was going to be Robert Pattinson.
I wouldn't say yet.
However, if you look, I was going to say if you look at his catalogue, most of his catalogue is Twilight.
Yeah.
So
talk to me in 2 months, and maybe my opinion has changed. If that film bangs, he's up there.
So rundown. I've got Leonardo DiCaprio, Cillian Murphy, Denzel Washington, Anthony Hopkins, and Chris Pratt.
I have Christian Bale, Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Caine, Brad Pitt, and Heath Ledger.
So I don't think either of us can choose whose list is better. If you do have any opinions on that, feel free to comment them down.
Yeah.
If this is ever on Spotify, you can comment on that as well.
Do you want to say the honourable mentions that you've got?
Yeah. So honourable mentions, I had Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr., Robert De Niro, who I'm glad he didn't get picked in the end, and Robert Pattinson. Those were the only ones that I didn't have that I picked.
Yeah, I also had Robert De Niro. I had Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino, and Matthew McConaughey.
Fair enough. I kind of wish I had him in my list now.
Yeah. I'm surprised I had 5 actors on my list that I preferred to Matthew McConaughey. Well, 6 including Leo.
After The Gentleman and Interstellar, I don't know how I could have missed him, because those are 2 of my favourite movies.
Next episode, did you want to do actresses? That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Do we want to do this a little bit quicker?
Yes.
Because it is another top 10.
Yeah.
The last one took us half an hour.
That is true. Okay, we'll
we'll
go.
Do your bottom 5, then I'll do my bottom 5. Then you do your top 5, I do my top 5.
Fair enough. Yeah. So at number 10, I've got Tenet.
Right.
I love Tenet. I think it's a brilliant movie. I love the story. I get that some people find it hard to follow.
Yeah.
I do understand how it is hard to follow. I just didn't find it that hard to follow.
No.
I've watched a lot of time-based movies, so it kind of just went in.
Yeah.
And I just think that, I'll be honest, who did we say the main character was played by? You said George Washington's son. It's
Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah, and I think he's brilliant in that role, and so is Robert Pattinson in the sort of sidekick role.
I think that film's carried by Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I think.
I just love that movie. I thought it was a great story.
Yeah.
Number 9, I've got Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Wow.
I'll be honest, this movie has so few Marvel. That's the only Marvel movie in this list, which I was surprised when I made it. Yeah. I just think Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's by far my favourite Marvel movie.
Same.
I think not only is it my favourite, I do think it's the best one.
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to go quicker, so my number 8, it's lower than I thought it was going to be. It's Lion King.
Okay.
I just, as a kid and growing up, I mean, I've got the top on now. Scar has been my favourite character since the first time I watched that movie.
Yeah.
I just think it's perfect. It might be a bit derivative. I know a lot of people have said that. I just don't care, basically. Suck out.
Fair enough.
Number 7, I've got Jurassic Park.
Right.
Again, first time I ever watched that movie, it was just revolutionary for me. I'm a massive dinosaur nerd. It translated into a lot of different things in my life.
Yeah.
I just couldn't leave it unmentioned on this list. Again, lower than I thought it was going to be. I've got at number 6, The Gentleman.
Right.
Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Penguin. Colin Farrell, like just every performance in this movie is perfect for this movie. I think I just, again, don't have a problem with anything. I think the story's great. I love the show that came out. Was that last year?
That was last year.
Yeah, I love that show. But yeah, that's my bottom 5.
Okay.
If you want to go through your bottom 5.
I shall. I have 2 honourable mentions.
I'll mention mine after that as well.
I've got Aftersun.
Okay, yeah.
Mentioned it earlier on.
Yep.
Destroyed me.
Yeah.
Completely. It's just so emotional and hits hard. My other one, bit of a different note, Real Steel.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
It's what got me into boxing.
Yeah.
As stupid as it sounds, robots punching each other is fucking sick.
It's so awesome.
It's great. Like,
you've got Hugh Jackman, like shadow boxing whilst a robot's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
And although my favourite scene of it's an illegal punch
in
boxing, but the Superman punch is phenomenal with Hugh Jackman and the robot silhouette pretty much doing the same thing at the end. It's great. Anyway, get onto the list. Number 10, I have Memento.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Nolan's third or fourth film.
Yeah.
The man's just got a thing with time.
Yeah.
It's got to be some kind of weird fetish.
Yeah.
Brilliant in every way. I love that film. 9, I've got Up.
Okay.
Being my favourite animated film since I was a child. When I was a child, I used to watch it. It was very colourful. I loved it. Loved Russell, the little fat Chinese kid. Loved him so much. And then Doug the dog, the speaking dog.
Yeah.
What everyone
you
wants.
You can't miss with that, can you?
Yeah. And then as you get older, it manages to be more emotional. So you get not less of the fun, but you get more of the meaning behind it, which I think is really good. At number 8, I have The Dark Knight.
Okay.
You probably think that's a bit low for me.
I do think that's a bit low for you.
Yeah. I think we mentioned it earlier. Heath Ledger, brilliant. Whoever played Two-Face, brilliant. Christian Bale, amazing in it. Michael Caine, Cillian Murphy was in at the start of it. It's brilliant. The opening scene in the bank, where Joker puts on the mask to pretend to be one of the goons to split the money, and hears one of them say, the boss thinks he's going to get any of this, and he manages to kill everyone. All of the goons, and takes all the money and escapes in the bus that they reverse into the bank.
Very good.
Which is great. At number 7, I've got The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Love that film. Leonardo DiCaprio. He's going to be mentioned a few times in my list. True story. Brilliant. it just didn't seem like a 3-hour film to me.
No,
It
that's
went really
the main
quick.
thing I have to say about that movie.
Yeah.
Is it just flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's my example for not the perfect, but a great 3-hour movie. Is it?
And the fact that it's a comedy as well.
It keeps you going. Like, at no point do you sit there and go, "Now this has been a while." You're waiting for the next thing to happen.
It's great. And at my number 6, I have Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Another true story with Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Yeah.
One of those films where you sit down, you watch it, and you're like, how did this actually happen?
Yeah.
How did he pretend to be a pilot? How did he pretend to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
How did he pretend to be a doctor?
Well, you showed me that movie after talking about it for hours on end.
At the age of 17, it's crazy, and the fact that he managed to launder so much money. Tom Hanks is brilliant in it. It's just a great film.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Yeah, and the fact that he doesn't get arrested for it, but they use him to help prevent that crime, which he's still working with now. Yeah. And is still really close friends with a Tom Hanks character. Yeah. I love everything.
It's very good. One thing I will say is, I don't think we've got a single shared item on this list. But I'm going through my top 5. Oh no, we might do. There might be one.
Okay.
I'm going to go through my honourable mentions real quick, because I forgot to. I've got Her. Mm-hmm. That might make its way into my top 10. Same with you with After Sun. It's just too recent. I can't put it in there yet. You need to let it like marinate a bit. I've got then Dead Poets Society. Again, like, there's a good chance it's going to be in my top 10. Yeah. I watched it like 2 days ago. I can't like in good faith do that.
You didn't even tell me about that.
Yeah, no. And then I've got Interstellar as well, because it is just
honourable mention. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I found it crazy when you said you only had one Nolan film in your top 10. I was like, I must have missed it out.
Yeah, no.
How come it didn't make the top
10? I couldn't watch that movie whenever I wanted to.
That's right.
Like I couldn't go. I've got some time, I'll put Interstellar on. You've got to sit down to watch Interstellar. Yeah. I'm happy to do that as many times as possible. I think it's amazing. We went to see it for the 10th anniversary. I do also think it's almost a bit of a travesty to not watch it in the cinema because of how epic it is. Same with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer for me was a 4, I think. Yeah. It should have been a 5 if I'd seen it in the cinema.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, I'll go on to my top 5. At 5, I've got Good Will Hunting, which it was the only one I thought we might have shared. Maybe. I just think it's such a beautiful story. Again, Robin Williams is just so amazing. I love him. I've got so many of his. The Bicentennial Man. I don't think you've ever seen that. No. We need to watch it. He's just amazing. I love Robin Williams. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are great in that movie. There's the woman in it that her name has left my brain. She's great. How'd you like them apples? Perfect. Yeah. I just think the whole movie is great. I don't have much more to say about it other than amazing. Yeah. At number 4, The Wild Robot.
Whoa.
I could watch that movie whenever. Wow. I could sit down right now and watch that movie. Tomorrow, if you asked me again if you wanted to watch that movie, I'd watch it again. Yeah. It had absolutely no effect going to see that twice in the cinema. And I can't imagine a third time would change that. No. We've talked about it enough. I just think it's great. Yeah. Number 3, I have Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
The first time I watched that, I instantly gave it a 5-star. Again, every performance in that movie, it's got so many people in that movie that I love. We've got Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Ben Stiller. All 3, absolutely love those people. It's such a brilliant story. The twist in it, you've never watched it, have you? Okay. I won't tell you the twist, but it's a fucking good one.
Okay. Is it crazy? Is it stupid? Is it love?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But it's just brilliant. I then went on to watch that movie 6 different times the same week.
That's wild.
Because I showed it to my friends and they loved it, but one of the friends wasn't there, so we watched it again 4 hours later. I just love that movie so much. Number 2, if you've seen my top 4 in letterboxd, it's no surprise, Dawn of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so fun and gritty, and Caesar is possibly my favourite. I hate to call him live action, but like
He is.
Yeah. He's my favourite live action character probably of all time.
Right.
But yeah, it's just brilliant. I think I won't call it revolutionary because the first Planet of the Apes movie was the revolutionary one.
Yeah.
But Planet of the Apes in general, I think, was revolutionary for sci-fi.
Yes.
But yeah, again, I don't want to talk too much because we've absolutely yammered on, and we've still got another segment left.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about whether we want to do that. My number 1 is Brother Bear.
Yes. So that.
It was never going to be anything different. Brother Bear's just. Again, I almost slipped up earlier and revealed it, but you can't put Interstellar against Brother Bear because Interstellar wins 10 times out of 10. But in terms of, for me, Brother Bear is just like the most amazing, like lovely movie ever. But yeah, so that's my number 1. I don't know if you want to go through your first one.
Yeah, can do. I would say every single one of these next 5 films I could stick on and sit through.
Yeah.
Every single one in my top 10 is a 5 out of 5. Number 5, I've got The Batman.
Okay.
Bringing its way in. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the peak of superheroes for me. I think it's brilliant. Watched it probably close to 6 times now, 6-7 times. It just doesn't get old. I just can't get enough of it. I'm glad the second one's taking so long, but at the same time I'm annoyed. The Penguin was brilliant. It's just created so many good things. My number 4 is Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Nice.
You've got it higher than me. But...
I've got it a little bit higher than you. I would say it's a comfort movie.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. There's been nights that I haven't been the happiest, and I've stuck it on, and it
turns you up a little
bit.
Brings you up.
It's got the sense of hope.
Yeah.
It's got the downfall of someone and the uprising.
Yeah.
The line at the end, which is "He stole my line."
Yeah.
If I need to go see about a girl, which he called stupid earlier on, which is really good. I love that film.
It's amazing.
Yeah. My number 3, I've got Inception.
Okay.
Love that film.
Yeah.
It's close between 3rd and 2nd for me.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. The cast is stacked. The more you watch it, the more you understand, and the more little Easter eggs there are. The ending leaving you on that cliffhanger is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Which I think it's one of the films that does that better.
This 3rd Nolan movie in your top 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it. Number 2, another Nolan film,
Okay.
Interstellar.
Okay, nice.
I think each time I watch it, like every 20 minutes there's a quote that you can take.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Like it's bar after bar.
Yeah.
And so
they
good.
didn't bring us here to change the past.
Yeah.
Use that in your everyday.
Yeah.
You can't change the past.
Yeah.
Which that kind of shows you.
If anyone wants to look, most of your reviews,
all of my old top 10s were quotes.
Yeah, which I think is really good that you've just got your favourite quote from the movie.
If I just get up my Interstellar quote.
If you ever feel like a good read, go on mine. My reviews. I'm starting to write a bit more wordy ones because I like to talk.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I think your review of Interstellar was the Anne Hathaway quote.
Yeah, the Anne Hathaway quote. Love isn't something we invented. It's observable, powerful. It has to mean something. Maybe it means something we can't understand.
Yeah,
I've just got goosebumps
it's
saying
so
that.
cold, isn't it?
It's amazing because it's true.
Yeah.
What actually is love?
Yeah.
What creates attraction?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's the strongest thing in the world, and it's very rare to come across, and when it does happen, it's
and again,
it's
Matthew
great.
McConaughey in that movie just gives the absolute performance of his life. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
First time I watched it, didn't remember he was in it.
No.
He's small role, great
And Casey
role.
Affleck's in it as well.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the
older version of.
yeah,
Timothy Chalamet.
he's Timothy. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Isn't he? Which I find great.
Yeah,
all of it.
Again, there just isn't a bad performance in that movie.
No. The fact that he Christopher Nolan planted 500 acres or something like that of actual corn.
Yeah. And then made a profit on it afterwards.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. It's visually stunning for someone who doesn't like CGI.
Yeah.
It's beautiful CGI.
Yeah.
The black hole scene it's got two moments where it's like really emotional when he's looking back at the tapes, and he's getting a little bit emotional at Casey Affleck's where it says like, "Oh, Dad, I've had a son." And then the one with Mer, where she says, "At one point you said you would come back and we might be the same age. Now is a good time for you to come back." It's a hard hit.
I just got goosebumps there when you said that.
It's crazy. My number one. Don't know if you know this.
Ooh,
Maybe.
I can't think. If I had to pick a number one, I was gonna say Up, or one of the Dark Knight movies.
No, Donnie Darko.
Oh, what am I on about?
It's such a good film. The way it covers loneliness is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a very early version. It was early developing in time-based movies.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
It's very profound.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think for how young Jake Gyllenhaal was.
Yeah.
Which
we found out the other day. He's only like 3 years younger than he is in Zodiac.
Yeah,
and which is mental.
He looks 20 years apart. With that film, I think I love the corny lines. I love the serious lines. I love the bad actors. I love the good actors.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen in that film is being a wild one, and he says something like "Shut up, you fat Asian" or whatever it is. It's just hilarious. I can't get enough of that film.
Do you want to know something I've just realised? I'm skipping ahead a bit here. My trivia. I haven't written down the answers, so I might need your phone. I don't know if you want to quickly do.
Unless you want to do that next week.
I think we can get through it quite quickly.
Well,
I don't know if you want to do top 5 for highest grossing for you.
Yeah.
Because I think 10.
Did you want to do hot takes beforehand?
Yeah, we'll do hot takes beforehand. Do you want me to do mine?
Well, I've got 2 smaller ones.
Okay.
Okay. I will. Which one should I start? Okay. I'll start with this one. I think Pixar is better than DreamWorks. Pretty okay pick. I think DreamWorks is better than Disney.
So you're putting Disney at the bottom.
I think animation-wise, Pixar, DreamWorks, Disney.
See, if we're talking, are you saying animated movies or are you talking just the animation?
I'm talking animated movies, so what they've produced. Apart from with Disney, the ones that shout out is An Emperor's New Groove. I love that film so much.
On about
That's such a great film.
You cannot say that the outlier of Disney is Emperor's New Groove.
No, I didn't say that. I said that's the best one they've produced.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
You can't say that the best Disney movie is Emperor's New Groove.
I think it's
when you've got
great.
Hercules.
Hercules is great.
Hercules is brilliant. You've got Hercules, Lion King. You've got Moana. Inside Out? No, Inside Out's Pixar, isn't it?
That's Pixar.
Yeah.
But there's Pixar, there's the Toy Stories, the Cars.
Toy Story is so unbelievably mid. It's crazy.
Not my words.
It's
there.
It's okay. Mid is the right. It's so overrated. It's wild.
The Toy Story trilogy, the original 3, is Quentin Tarantino's favourite trilogy ever. He refuses to watch 4 because of how perfect 3 was.
That's me with Kung Fu Panda. I don't want to watch 4.
Don't get me wrong. I think DreamWorks has produced great films.
I would be happy. I wouldn't be happy because Disney. If you take 10 years ago, basically, if Frozen was the last animated Disney movie, I would say Disney is on top. I would be happy if you said DreamWorks, Disney, Pixar.
Nah, man.
Because
Pixar's so good. It's got so many banger films.
I do agree. I just think Disney has more.
I don't think so, man.
Have you ever watched Coco?
I don't like it.
Oh,
That's Pixar.
What? Oh, okay. Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Coco is a Pixar film.
I need to fact check that.
Because I'm pretty sure it's my lowest rated Pixar film. Pixar.
Damn.
Well, there's your point gone.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Guess I'll take this
I'll
one.
take that. You're not going to take this one.
No.
The Dark Knight trilogy
Mm-hmm.
is not a top 5 comic book franchise.
Well, there's hot takes and there's just wrong opinions.
I think the Dark Knight trilogy is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I can't really fault it.
Mm-hmm.
As a comic book movie, I just don't see it. I see a Christopher Nolan movie with Batman in it.
What else do you want?
I want Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to look like I'm reading a comic that's moving. I want
that's
Guardians
not the
of the
point of
Galaxy.
it.
I want.
Batman.
I want.
It's
I
a
want
realistic
Into
Batman.
the Spider-Verse.
Don't get me wrong.
But Batman isn't realistic. He's a comic book character that fights alien Superman.
Yeah, but it's a Christopher Nolan movie.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a Christopher Nolan movie with Batman in it.
And
I don't
the
see-
best Joker ever seen.
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow.
I
is
don't
in the top
disagree
10
that they are
villains.
amazing movies.
Yes.
I just think in terms of comic book movies, I have things above
Okay.
it. Into the
Same.
Spider-Verse, I have Avengers Endgame. Like, in terms of comic book movies, I think they're more true
Yeah.
to the source.
The only superhero film that I have above The Dark Knight is The Batman.
See, again, this might change on rewatch. I don't know whether I'd put it in the top 5.
Okay.
I think James Gunn
Mm-hmm.
could make the best comic book Batman ever.
Possibly, yeah.
But I think they're just in different places. Again,
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it's a brilliant Batman movie. I just don't think it's a brilliant Batman comic book movie.
No.
I put them in different categories.
But then there's Batman Begins, which is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, origin stories.
If it was a good comic book movie, Bane would not have looked the way he did.
That movie sucked. Anyway, apart from that one, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight
Are amazing movies.
are both in the top 5 superhero movies.
For yourself.
I don't know. Ratings would say otherwise.
Yeah,
Ratings, The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, I think, are the two highest. Apart from maybe
what
Across
I'm
the
saying is,
Spider-Verse.
I think they're just in different categories.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, if we can agree on that, I'm happy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a comic book movie like Into or Across the Spider-Verse.
Or Guardians, or Endgame.
Yes.
Or like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like quintessentially
But
what I think of when I think of comic book movies.
you saying they're great movies, but not great superhero movies. They're still superhero movies.
Comic book
and you're
movies.
saying they won't be in
There's
the...
a difference.
Yes.
They're not great comic book movies because when I think of a comic book movie, especially they probably were the best when they came out, but now I think like when I watch Into the Spider-Verse, it's like a comic book
Yes,
movie
yeah,
in front
I
of
get
me. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is the same in live action. It looks like I'm watching a comic book come to life. Endgame, everyone coming through the portals. That could have been a comic book panel.
Yes.
Like crazy. I think we need to move to our trivia before we fight.
I still have a hot take.
Damn, dude.
The Lion King is not a top 10 animated film.
Let's go on to trivia because we're gonna fight over that. I might need. So you need your phone for yours, don't you? Okay. I think we should do top 5 instead of top 10.
Okay. Top 5.
I think I need a time limit on how long I can. No, I get 3 chances to get something wrong.
Yeah. So this is you trying to guess the top 5 highest grossing movies. This is Wikipedia, so it's not reliable. But Right. Not gonna get this, but yeah, go.
I'm gonna go for Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for. Is this highest grossing? Is this in general? Do you know, or is this like what it
Worldwide
made at
gross.
box office?
Worldwide gross, so it's in total.
Frozen.
No.
Damn.
That is. Well, Frozen 2's higher and it's 14th.
Damn.
The first one is 23rd. So.
Are there any Disney movies on this list?
Yes.
Is it like technically Disney, or is
Yes.
it like okay? But I'm saying like if I were to say Disney, like
No.
not Lucasfilms, like which is owned by Disney.
No.
It's
no.
like a Disney movie.
No, it's not.
It's not
But the father company is Disney.
Disney. Inside Out 2? No.
So that's 2 strikes. Smashing this.
Alright. Is there a Marvel movie on there?
Yes,
There is.
there is.
No Way Home?
Oh,
Damn, that was quick, wasn't it?
right.
What are the top 5?
Number 1 is Avatar
Yeah.
with 2.9 billion.
Mm.
And number 2 is Avengers Endgame
Really?
with 2.7 billion. And number
Really?
3 is Avatar: The Way of the Water,
Ah,
which is 2.3 billion.
so I was gonna say that.
At number 4 is Titanic,
Damn.
which is 2.2 billion. And
James Cameron's smashing that.
Yeah, that man's worth a bit.
He's got a heavy pocket.
Yeah. And number 5 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh, so you did not give anything away when I said Lucasfilms. I want to point that out.
What do you mean?
When
You said, is it a Disney film? And I said yes. And you said, oh, is it? If it's
Yeah,
owned by
no, I
Lucasfilms,
said-
I went, no.
Yeah, and I went, oh, like Lucasfilms. He's like, I could not get a read on you at all. Like, if you'd asked me that question, you would have known instantly that it was a Lucasfilms. Okay, so
I can get dates up. No, I'm not going to get the dates up. Don't check my search history.
So, I don't know if you want to have this and just tell me what you're linking up.
Okay.
Oh, just to preface it, what he's got in front of him is a list of different Marvel movies and
It's
projects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Marvel projects,
Here's
all
them.
with the dates underneath them, but not in the correct order. and
Yeah,
I
so
need to
he's
try and
got
guess
to
them
try
in.
and link up the dates to like when the movie or show came out.
Okay.
There are, I think 2017 has 2, and another one has 2 as well.
2017 doesn't have 2. 2011 has 2.
Oh, okay.
2021 has 2.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah.
Right. 2004 is Spider-Man 2. 2024 is X-Men 97. Iron Man is 2008.
I'm also only going to reveal if he got the correct answer once he's done all 10.
Is that the first Captain America?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of the 2011s. So let me just put a mark over each one of them.
Yeah.
Not that one.
So you've got 2004, 2024, 2008 and 2011 so far.
What was the fourth one? I got
2011,
24, 08, 2011. And
2004.
where's 2004? What is going on? Where's 2004 gone?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's the
Oh.
last one.
Right, okay.
Okay. Right. So which one of these came out first?
What are you...
Thor 3 is Ragnarok.
What?
Thor 3
Yeah, Ragnarok.
is Ragnarok.
Yeah. Thinking.
Loki season 1 is 21.
Loki season 1.
I'm going to say TASM 2, 2014. 'Cause I think the first one came out 2012. I'm not sure on that one though.
By the way,
No. Maybe.
I would like to say, once you've said it, it's locked in.
Oh, okay.
Not like you can change it now,
Yeah.
but I mean like once you move on.
Okay, let me do the ones I know then. Captain Marvel is 2018.
2018. You got 3 left to do.
Okay. I'm gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was 2017 because I saw the interview with James Gunn that said about Batman Part 2 taking 6 years, that the distance between Guardians Volume 2 and Guardians Volume 3 was 6 years.
Okay.
Because that came out in 23.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have I got left? A 21 and an 11.
Okay.
Thor 3 was an 11.
Thor 3 was in 2011.
No, was in 21. I don't know why I was thinking of The Dark World. Which leaves What If. Wait, what the fuck? What If didn't come out in 2011.
It's the only one you've got left.
Okay, do that then.
Yeah.
I don't think TASM. The only one I can think for that time period is TASM 2. But I don't think that was as early as 2011. I thought that was a bit later.
Do you want to lock these in?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I'm going to cut to when I've got all the answers up because this is going to take a minute.
Nice.
Right, so.
The ones that I know are definite are Iron Man, Thor 3, Spider-Man 2, Guardians 2, X-Men 97.
I'm going to cover this up so that you find out when they find out.
That's fine. What's like a patch rate? How many is that? 10? 80%?
80%?
Is like a pass
I'll say
rate.
70% as a pass rate.
Okay.
Okay, so. To be fair, oh, what the fuck?
What If did not come out in 2011?
It didn't.
Which makes me think TASM 2 came out in 2011. And What If came out in 2017? That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. I think so. Oh, would it? Because What If came out after Infinity War. Because in the first season, Ultron gets the Infinity Stones. So that would be 21. That's one of the 21s. Loki season 1 came out in 21.
I'd like to say so far you are smashing it.
Don't know if I'm detecting sarcasm.
I'll leave that up to you.
Well, that's not daunting. Oh, I should probably message my mum
I
back.
think I wrote one of the years down wrong, but you got it right for what I wrote down, so.
Make sure to mention that.
Yeah. Okay, so if you give me that booklet, because either I've done something wrong or you've done something wrong, I'm gonna cut to here, like, so this is where they find out. And
This
you
is where
find out.
they find out that you've made mistakes.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man 2, that's in
2002.
2004.
Was it?
Spider-Man 2,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
2004,
2002, yeah.
and you were correct. X-Men 97,
24.
you put 2024, you were correct.
Yeah.
Iron Man
2008 was
you
correct.
put 2008, which was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America: The First Avenger,
11.
you put 2011,
Correct.
correct. Loki Season 1,
21.
you put 21,
Correct.
correct.
Yeah.
TASM 2, you put 2014,
Don't know if that one's
you were
correct.
correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did the first one come out in 2012?
Captain Marvel,
18.
you put 2018, which is what I put on there.
But it's
It's
19.
meant to be 2019.
Right.
So I changed it for you. You did also get that correct.
So that's oversaid.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you put 2017.
Yes.
You're correct.
Mhm.
Now, Thor 3, you put 2021.
Don't know if that's correct.
Incorrect.
17.
Thing is, I'm unsure as to. Wait. So, what if you put 2011? I'm also obviously incorrect. It was 21, I think. Which. Yeah. So,
21.
Instead of Thor 3, it would have been on What If.
So what was?
Thor 3. I don't know. Did I'm. There is a chance I accidentally googled Thor. Which, if that came out in 20, you still got it wrong.
2017.
2017. Did you put 2017s? No, you didn't. So you missed out 2017, and you put. I think we've both done this very wrong, but we'll move on. You did get the passing rate, which was 7 out of 10. So you got 8 out of 10.
Very nice.
So this is the wrong notebook.
That's the wrong one. I'll take this one.
Just very quickly, we will go over news of the last so on or so forth.
Yeah.
This isn't really very recent. The Odyssey is Christopher Nolan's next movie.
Yeah.
We're both very excited for that.
We are.
I love Greek mythology. You
I
love
love
Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan.
Yes.
Recently found out that one of my favourite stories from Greek mythology is in the Odyssey, about Polyphemus, the Cyclops. Very excited to see that in live action. Very interested to see how he does it, because as we've talked about, not today but before, he doesn't use CGI a lot.
No.
Interstellar was his most.
Yeah. So I don't know where he's going to get the one-eyed Cyclops from.
No, I mean he's going to have to look for a while, which is probably why it's coming out.
Lizzo with makeup on.
Jesus. So, she's not in the movie. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, and I think some more have been announced. Those are the 4 that we're sort of looking at that are going to be quite good. Zendaya and Tom Holland. I'm not. Tom Holland, I think, will do a brilliant job. Zendaya, I'm not her biggest fan.
No, neither.
I'm sure she could do a good job. She wasn't bad in Dune, but the one I saw,
She wasn't in it.
wasn't in it much.
She was good in part 2.
Yeah, so I'm sure she'll smash it. Robert Pattinson and Matt Damon, I've got no doubts in. Brilliant in Interstellar. I love The Martian. You're scarred by it, so.
Yeah. A little bit of drama.
But yeah, Matt Damon's brilliant. So that's the Odyssey. Oscar nominations
Right.
were so disappointing.
Yeah.
Furiosa didn't get a mention.
Not a single nomination, which I find crazy.
And I don't know if this is a hot take. I do know it's definitely not. Amelia Perez getting 13 or 14?
13.
13
nominations at a letterboxd rating of 2.6 is
so
wild.
outrageous. It's just.
It's
like,
too woke.
And well, it is, but I've also seen people saying that the hate of this is coming from a transphobic angle. It isn't.
No.
It's almost the opposite. It's coming from an angle of it's making them look ridiculous. Like, this movie is so insensitive, and just like, I haven't seen it, don't get me wrong, but from looking at the reviews and the clips I've seen, it just doesn't hit in the way that I'm hoping they were trying to make it hit.
Yeah.
I hope that there was no malicious intent there.
No.
I very much doubt it was, if so Zoe Saldana's in it. But yeah, it just doesn't look great, and I won't be seeing it anytime soon.
Selena Gomez is in it.
Selena Gomez is in it, and she definitely wouldn't have done this movie with malicious intent if her public persona is anything to go by.
Yeah.
However,
Challenger's not getting a nomination.
Challenger's not getting.
Neither of us have seen it, but we've heard very good things about it.
I've seen the first 45 minutes. Wasn't your thing? It wasn't my thing. No, I don't give a shit about tennis.
Fair enough.
And I'm not a massive fan of Zendaya.
Zendaya,
So like, it was never going to be my thing. I can respect that it is a good movie though.
Yeah.
However, I think that's going to have to wrap it up, because it's almost past our bedtime.
Yeah. It's like almost 6 o'clock.
However, I've had a lot of fun.
I've had a great time.
I'm looking forward to doing this again. I'm sure we'll be a bit more comfortable the next time.
Yeah.
It won't take us 5 tries to do the intro.
No. That's an understatement.
Yeah. And we've also figured out the stories thing now, so hopefully.
So that's going to be another issue.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll try and fix that.
Yeah.
Do we want to announce next week?
So next week.
Next week we're doing a Christopher Nolan episode.
Yeah, we're gonna. We haven't quite got the segments planned out, but I'm sure we're gonna do a ranking, a draft.
Draft. Talking over each of the films.
We'll probably give a brief review on all the ones we've seen. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
These are all filmed. We're filming 3 before we put any of them out, because what we didn't want to do was film this one, put it out, hate it, never film another one. That seems stupid.
Yeah,
so.
This was filmed on 25th of January,
Yeah.
so if the news is a bit out of date, I'm sure
we should have mentioned that really. Yeah.
Yeah, but
but no. So these should be going out sort of end of Feb time, I think.
End of February, I think, is a good time. Gives us time to get a few episodes out together.
Exactly. But we hope everyone enjoyed the first one. We're looking forward to coming back and doing this again. We will see everyone later. Well, we won't. You'll see us at some point.
You'll see us again in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
But you'll see us next week, I guess.
Yeah. For your timeline. Anyway.
This isn't scripted. You wouldn't have guessed it, but.
Right.
All right.
See ya.